hope all of you pulled some money out of this. This was an amazing trade we got in the trading room and posted on YouTube for you guys to see. The correction, up move. I think it went about here and now it's consolidating. There's a good chance we're going to go higher. So if you missed the first part, join us live in our trading room and you wouldn't miss the second part, as well as you wouldn't miss all the other amazing trades we take. Hi traders, if you don't know me, my name is Anil Mangal. Watch my YouTube videos. We use a method called wave analysis to analyze the chart. It's one of the only method of analysis that allows you to make forecasts 80–90% accuracy. So I would go today to show you all the Forex trades we took, some of them, and forecasts for next week. Let's start with the dollar index. By the way, if you would like to join us live, send me a Skype message. The Skype is in the description. If you don't know how to find it, I'll just type it here for you. Send me a Skype message at MANGAL 457. Sorry, type, I have to get type. MANGAL 457. Download Skype if you don't have it. Send me a message. It will take you 2 minutes to do that. Send me a message and I'll give you all the details of how you can join us. There are two ways you can join us. You could either join us as a full-time trader, or you could join us as an installment pair, which means you say, I cannot afford to pay for the course, but I'd like to join your group and get access to your daily live analysis. And you pay for the course in very small installment, the equivalent of a coffee a day. Once you complete the payment, you will be in the group. You will get access twice daily, London and New York. You will also get a daily recording of every single pair you see here that we normally look at. So send me a message and you'll get into that. Let's start. Dollar index. What are we looking at? So let me go with the daily. If you go back and you watch my webinar, what you would see here is that on the dollar index, remember what we said, the monthly is at the top, it's coming down. We have a very sharp move here. And it seems like we're consolidating in this range, which means if that consolidation stays in this range, that would be a continuation to downside. So let's go look at the consolidation. By the way, this move, this final move to the upside here, we got that very nice Friday because we saw the pattern coming. We saw this one, we saw the down moves that we were trading, and then we're looking at this for a possible running flat. So what would be the next move we're looking for Monday? Monday in the 1 hour, I think we'll be looking for a sell setup here. There is already a small flag here, so we would be looking for this to probably continue to go down. Once it breaks this low, if it goes, and once it breaks this low, we'll be very cautious because we're still in the consolidation and we don't know whether this is all the consolidation. If that is all, then this would just continue to drop. If that is not all, it will come break this low and then start an up move again, which means we will stay in the range of consolidation. Here's the thing, you don't need to know whether it will do that. You need to understand the possibilities of that. And that is the advantage of trading with wave analysis. So if we get this trade, which we will be selling it, now it could, you may say, well, why if the pattern is there? Because patterns become more complex. And if this is going to be a more complex pattern, then what you need to be careful of is that this could break, come here and then go back up. If this happens, we have enough rules, very strict rules of how you're going to get out of that trade for break even or positive. That's called trade management. And that's one of the most important things we do in our trading room, because traders will take a trade outside of the trading room. They're going to come in the trading room and they're going to say to me, I'm in this trade and it's a little upside down. Can you tell me what we should do? So we would look at the trade and we said, by rules, this is what we are expecting to happen and this is what you should do. So these are very strict rules. Once you get into trading, when you learn that rule, you will continue using it when you're trading outside of the trading room. So my expectation is downside. We will be looking for a sell. Silver went up. Take that out. That's the top. We're coming down. It's kind of making a consolidation here. But if you notice what silver is doing is we're going up, right? It has been moving up. All these consolidations are buy setup. And then it's at the top. This is where you don't buy anymore, right? When you start to see that, that's when you start to say, okay, we're getting divergence. The price is starting to consolidate to the top of the chart, which is not what you want to see when you're looking for a buy setup. And there's a chance we could either make a deeper correction and then go, or we could continue to do this to the upside. This is not tradable. Regardless of what you learn to trade, that's where traders lose their account, not understanding when it's tradable and when it's not tradable. Even if you get a setup here, I would not be trading this to the upside. Not until I get a deeper correction and then ready to go. Or if it is going to drop, get a deeper correction and then watch it go down. Right? So as of Monday, we probably will be waiting for this to give us some sense of direction, what it's doing. Right? So there's no trade set up on the short term for that. If you join the trading room, you will see what we saw and how we're looking at it and what is the next trade we're looking for. Gold came back, so this moved up quite high. That's a really big move. This is the big flat in gold. This is a big move. This is a sharp move. This is a sharp move. What that means that when you have those two sharp moves, the idea is that it will probably stay in a consolidation range here, going upwards. So something looking like this. And I wouldn't be surprised if it even breaks it up and then start coming back here. At some point, one of these is going to be very corrective. So here's a good example. See the sharp move here? See how it moved up to the top? See it dropped, it moved back to the top, see it drop, and then go. That completes the pattern. So this would probably be already will be a running flat, but a complex one. So what I'm expecting is these two sharp moves are the two first impulses in a more complex pattern to the upside. I can show you an example of that on the higher time frame as well. So here's a good example of that in the higher time frame. See this very sharp move back against the trend. So this was dropping, and then they make a really sharp one, and a series of sharp on there. Then they come down. You do this, you go back there, you do this, and then you make this. All in all, what you have is a big flat. Now, if I put those two lines and show you, right now it looks like a mess, but if I prepared it for you, you'll see the difference. So I'm just going to put two lines and look how that changes your perspective of the chart. 1, 2. Now you look at this chart this way. An impulse going into the pattern, a pattern that went sideways, and an impulse coming out of the pattern. This is a flat in the middle. This is a correction, small correction in the middle. This is a small correction there. So this was coming down, pull back, drop, pull back, drop. You make a flat in the middle, you pull back, you see there's a smaller one here, drop. Now you go back up for this one. And after you get 1, 2, you get on, you complete the pattern. Pretty simple, right? When you draw it, when you prepare it the right way, when you understand what the pattern is. Now here's the thing. Here's my question to you. Can you look at this move down, and forecast something like this possible could happen? I think no. 99% of you out there can't do that. You wouldn't even possibly see. And even wave traders, 60 to 70%, we don't forecast running flats. But here's what we can do. Once I get this and it comes here and it breaks this low, you already know you're looking at a possible running flat in play. Right? So that forecast will go. Once you see this is not the sharp move up and it starts to make a correction here, you know you're going to get one more down, but you are going to get that move up against it. So would it be as complex as this, or will it be simple? A simple one would be 1, 2, 3. Well, this is already 2 sharp moves. So I can tell you now that this is going to be complex. Very complex. So let's wait and see. What is the trade of the day? What would be the trade for us? Well, we saw this. This wasn't really much of a buy. Some of my traders took it, got break even on the lower time frame. We took it in the 15 minutes. You look at this here, we're turning. See, this is the turning point. So what it is telling us is that this is making a small flat here. This would be a sell setup back to this level. Now it can go back up or it can continue to go down. There's a deep pullback. Most times when you get that, it will continue to go up. But you have a trade. The trade will be dropping here and then go back up. Right? If it's coming down all the way to the bottom, well, then good for us. We'll continue to trade it downwards. Right? So remember, this is the first impulse of the very complex pattern starting to develop. Euro, I think you can already see the trade, right? I don't even have to put it. That was our trade on Friday. We closed it and we had an entry here. If it's going to drop again, well, it's not dropping again. What is Euro doing? Let's go into 4-hour and look at Euro. You need to go into 4 hours, and this was the first move now. It kind of made a running flat there. Drop, broke the low, but not very far. And if you remember last week what I told you, there's two possibilities of looking at it. One is that this is going to come back to the top and then drop here, because this would be a more complex expanding flat, right? That's one option. The second option is this is actually the low. It didn't break very far, but that's actually the low, which means we're coming back to this top. Now, can we look at the 1, 2, 3 is all the correction to go up? Because remember, we're going up, right? This is the impulse that came into that move. What we're doing here is we're making a big sideways consolidation, and this is not enough. So I can tell you right now that this thing is going to stay in this range, probably break the top, probably break the low, but it's going to stay in this range for a very long time. We're not going to be breaking out of that range, because we're going to be consolidating in that range to go up. Now, what if this was all the consolidation? It is not, but what if it was? Then this would be coming down all the way to the bottom to stay here for a bigger consolidation and a continuation downwards. The difference comes in where you're consolidating. So I will show you this very same move. Remember the shop move and this 1, 2 piece? I'll show you one with more than 2 pieces in it, consolidating, and it's still consolidating. Well, here is it. You don't have to go far. Boom. Remember the up move. Remember 1, 2. Well, Pong has 3, 4, and there's going to be 5. And it could probably make 6 and 7 before you go up. See? So this one is 2 steps. If you count in steps, the Pong is 2 steps ahead of the euro in the same type of patterns they're making. I can probably even put the euro chart on top of this. Let me see if that's a possibility. There was that chance to put the chart on top. I don't know where I have it. Let me see if I can get it there. That's indicated. Nope. I think not this one. We had it somewhere here. I don't know where it is, but you can actually put a chart on top of this one and you'd see. But I'll switch it back so you remember. Up move 1, 2. Same up move 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're both going up right now. The euro and the pound is going up right now. But this is the 4th up move within this pattern. Whereas that's a second move. The euro is here and the pound is here. That's pretty important. That message, that is super important for you if you understand what we're looking at in terms of wave analysis. We're looking at both of them probably coming down back. We're looking at both of them probably going back up. We're looking at both of them probably coming back down. But at some point, this is going to take off before the euro. Or the euro is going to make a very simple pattern. I would go with this is going to take off before the euro. And what does that mean for you? Look at the euro pound. Go look at the euro pound chart, and you're going to have an amazing trade in the pound, an amazing trade in the euro pound, and an amazing trade in the euro. At some point, that euro pound is going to just drop like this if this starts to go up and euros come down within that consolidation. So you can feel and see the importance of wave analysis. This is what we do every day, and we do it live every day. All the trades we take are live, accounted for. That was a sell. There's a possible sell here again. I think you can see clearly we're making a consolidation. That would be a sell setup for us. Not here. This was when it started to consolidate. We were going to get it from a much higher place. So would this be the one that dropped, or would it just drop here and go back up? And this is where traders lose their money. Oh, so we're in a sell. Okay, I'm going to sell. I'm going to put a stop here, and I'm going to put a target here, and I'm going to live with that. Most of the gurus out there who are telling you about mechanical trading and price action trading, what they're telling you is put a stop, put a target, take an entry, a stop on the target, and live with that. Well, that's why you lose your account. Because the market is not moving towards your orders. The market is moving toward the bigger orders that are put by the bigger players in the market, not by you. So if you get a trade and it's not going, get the hell out of it. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for it to come and take your stop loss. Because then you will be taken. And you will say, oh, well, they're hunting my stop loss. It was going very good. I had 20 pips, and then it came and it hunted my stop loss. It didn't get to the target. Well, no, that's called wave analysis. And that is why you need to understand how it's going to move. So let's go. We're looking for a sell. And we're thinking that there's a possibility it's just going to move this much and go back up. Because again, there's a possibility for running flat here. Now, when it's a possibility, it might not happen if you look at this as the running flat, and that is a second possibility, which means if that is a running flat, this is going to come down, not in one move, but it's going to probably make like this a come down. Which means if you understand how it could, if you understand how the waves structures are going to develop, trading becomes easy because you understand where and when you should get the hell out of trades. So, Aussie, that was a sell, and we're probably looking for another sell here. I'm not sure this one will go. I'll take this out now. I'm not sure this one will go. I think what this is going to do here is probably go back to the top. See this here? Looks like they're trying to go back to the top. That is a possibility. If not, we'll get a bigger consolidation. It wouldn't drop immediately. It'd probably make a bigger consolidation here, and this would be a perfect sell to break the low. Maybe even lower than that. Can it go back to the top of this one and then come back here? Sure. If that happens Monday morning, we'll be buying it. The sell entry will come back, but at a different point. So right now, we're looking at a possible sell. But if this Monday morning spike up here, any flag it makes, we're trading it back to the top. New Zealand, also in the same type of pattern, right? You can see this. So it could either go back to the top or drop. Well, it's pretty easy. You wait for the flag and then sell. If it's going to be a buy, that will be a spike, a flag, and then buy only back to this top. And from that point, we'll see what happens. Yen, well, you can tell why we sell the yen there, right? You see these two, I literally showed you those two as a running flat. I think last week, I'm not sure whether that was in the trading room or in the webinar last week, but we were telling you first, this is going to break down. You're going to get a flat. Well, we didn't know what it makes a flat. We sold that. We sold this one. We sold here. We sold this one. We sold that one. Well, this was the last one we sold. And we're waiting for a sell here because this is a smaller version of the flat there. See that? Now, if we get the trade here, that would be a better deal. We'll put the entry there and we'll go for this trade. But if we don't, then it will come here depending on how fast that drop. Where is this thing trying to go? Well, it's trying to come and break this low. So that down move is trying to come and break this low. Which means if we get that trade, we probably will drop and break the low, or we'll make one more flag before we break the low. That means we'll exit the trade and take another one. I think this could be all the consolidation. So I don't think this is trying to go back up without breaking the low. So we're not going to stay in that consolidation. Well, you know, dollar index could drop. Dollar index drop, the dollar yen drops. So those would be two good trades on Monday. If this continued to go up, and I think this is where if you're a new trader and you watch this analysis and, you know, Monday morning come and this does that, you're like, oh, well, he got it wrong. I see traders write that nonsense. And I'm like, well, you know what? I was looking for a sell. I'm not in the trade. That's the thing about making forecast. You don't jump into the trade if it doesn't do what you expect it to do. So I'm not in a trade. I'll wake up and I'll just look at that while you will be making noise about wrong. I'll just wait for a flag here and sell it again. Just like we took that flag there and just like we did this flag here. Now, what would that tell me? So instead of a running flat, we're making a channel. See the difference? Now, do I know that that possibility exists? Of course. But we're not going to go through all the possibilities of what could happen with the dollar yen here. We do that in the trading room. We break up all the possibilities of a channel, a running flat, a reversal. And then we said what we need to look for if any one of those are going to happen. See? So when we do all of that, then we decide on the trade. What is the trade? What strategy we're going to use? What risk management we're going to use? What trade management you're going to use? And how you'll get in, how you'll exit. And all of that is done live. Dollar CAD. This one was amazing because we tracked this every single stage. And I mean every single stage, step by step. Once we got this move, we figure out the down move, we figure out the up move, and we were expecting the down move. As a matter of fact, some of us sold that on Friday, sold it on Friday, closed the trade. I personally sold that on Friday and closed the trade. We're expecting this to come down. And when it comes down to this level, we can already tell you that this is a huge flat here, right? Normally, flats like that will only come here, break the low, and then go back up, retest the top. But remember the bigger picture of this thing's downside? If you didn't remember that, go watch my last week video. Because last week, we forecast this thing to come up and break the top. Right? See this arrow here? Was telling you it's going to come and break this top. And when we break that top, we're going to go down back. Well, this flat could either continue to go down here, making a series of more flats as it goes, or it's going to literally go back, break that top, and then drop. Doesn't make a difference. We'll be in the sell. When it breaks this low, we'll move our stops, and if it takes us out, we'll look for the buy. If it continues to go, we'll keep selling until we break this low. Because whenever it breaks this low, it's going to go back up. This would be the big flat for upside. So let's see. Go back to the hourly, look for the sell. Your trade is a sell on Monday, and once you get that, you'll be okay. Swiss dropped. I think this one we also forecast. Same pattern like the CAD. We thought when they break this low, they're going to go back up. Instead, it consolidated. This was a sell. But we didn't take the sell because this sell could stop here and still go back up. So now we're looking for buy setups here. I think we had one. We closed it for break even. We were expecting that to go back up to the top here. Finish this one. And then come back down. Well, we don't have a setup. So if there's no setup, there will be no trade. We don't have any setup here as yet, so we'll take this up. Can this actually drop one more? Absolutely. We can even break this low. Right? This could come, break that low, go back up. When it go back up, it wouldn't break the top. It would be a running flat. So this is the impulse. This is the correction. This is going to be the impulse. So I don't want that trade. Even if it drops, I don't want that trade. I'll be trading the yen or trading the CAD or trading something else. I wouldn't be trading this one. But if this continues to go up, yes, we want this trade. So if it breaks the low, once it turns, I take this trade to the top. The risk to reward in a trade like this is amazing. The risk to reward in a trade like this is not so good. See? So every time you look at a trade, it's not where it's going exactly, but do you have a good trade? There is a good risk to reward in that trade. If there isn't, then don't take the trade. Watch it go, wait for it to turn, get into the opposite direction where there is a risk to reward in the trade. That's trading, right? Those are the majors and what they can do. Now, in our trading room, every single day, 5 times a day, we look at all live sessions. We look at all of these. Everything you see in this line here, every single one of them we go through, including these indices that we have here, oil and natural gas included there, S&P 500, NASDAQ. And then we look at some of the Indian stocks. We also have Tesla there. We look at all the cryptocurrencies, all of them that is here. And then that stops right at this point. And everything you see under that is what my traders look at separately while we're in the trading room. So all of this are what traders ask me to look at. Which means that we don't trade it as a group in general, but some traders in the group trade it. So we would look at it for them. If you're one of the people who join us in the live session and you trade something else, maybe you trade your own currency, then once you join it, we will look at that for you as well. So all of these are charts we look at. All of that you get when you join the trading room. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to just look at a few cryptos for you. I'll probably look at, let's say, oil. We'll look at oil. A lot of you trade oil, so let's look at let's look at natural gas and oil. Natural gas kind of consolidating. It probably will drop here. I'm expecting this to retest that up, and then we look for the sell. In the big picture, you'll be looking for the buy. So this is what it looks like. You're consolidating downwards, right? This is a correction. So it probably will drop a little more. This might come here, make a flat, drop a little more here. This will be a sell setup if that happens. But the bigger one is looking for this trade. That is this move up. So this would be the big trade next week if we get that, right? So we'll be waiting for that setup. Oil is going sideways. See that big sideways broke already? It's coming down. So I think we're making another consolidation here. On the 1 hour, you really don't have any trade right now. Or if you do have a trade, it's a little more to the upside. Breaking this top again. So we'll wait for this consolidation to finish and then look for another drop. Most likely it will drop again. S&P 500. So they're going back up. We're in this slow move up, very slow move up. See? So probably retest this top again. That might be a buy setup if we get it there to retest the top. And there's a good chance it still will drop. There's a very good chance it still will drop because it's very corrective to the upside. In rare cases, they do that and they keep going up, right? Because if this was moving really fast, we'll be buying it because you have 1, you have 2, you have 3. So there was good enough reasons for this to actually go back to the top. But then it starts to consolidate like this. And that consolidation, you can trade within that range from the bottom upwards, which means if this gives me a flag here, and you would definitely need a flag here before you take that trade to the upside, because it can stop right there and drop. If it starts to drop within this range, we will look for a flag and sell it. Right? So either of those two are possible. If you look at the daily structure, you will see that either of that, we're in this sideways move. We're literally doing this right now. See this? We're in here. So this can work its way back to the top here and then come here. If they go like that, it's not going to be a big impulse to the upside, or it can literally come down here and then go back up. We'll be in this range. We're still in that range. We're not breaking out of the ranges. So somewhere in here, we're not going to go into details of the patterns because that is for the trading room. But right now, we're looking at this as more as a correction that is going to drop, even if it goes back one to the top. Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. I'll look at three of the top ones for you guys. Bitcoin is one of them. We're consolidating, which means we're going to be going up more, right? I thought this was a running flat and we were expecting that sharp move down, but then it's pulling back here. And when you see that pull back, what you're thinking is the consolidation takes place here. This will come in the future. So if they consolidate here, it's going to go upwards more. With pulls back, so of course, you're going to get a lot of pullback. So right now what you have is a flat forming right here, kind of a correction forming in here. You got a sharp move and a sharp move. So this first one should be out, but be careful when you come to the top. If you get the trade from here, put a stop to it, somewhere here or somewhere here, because it can drop again and we'll repeat the process to the upside. As long as it stays in this range, you're looking for buy setups from the bottom of the range going upwards. And let's go Ethereum. Same here. We actually broke out. See, we broke out at the top. That is significant because when you break out, you can go with 1, 2, 3, which means this move should be an equivalent of that. So if this makes a little down here and start to go up, we'll be looking for that trade because we were expecting it to come to this level. I think we had that forecast earlier. Last week, I also showed you that. There's a good chance that it might get to that level. Now, if you look at the whole structure it is, right, the way it is, this is not exactly impulsive. So there's a good chance you don't even get this. This is the impulse, right? There's a good chance that this actually comes back to the low here, retest this low with moves like these. Pull back, go back up, come back, go back up, come here, complete this as a much bigger flat. And then we get that impulse, after which we will retest the low. So I already mentioned this in the short video that I posted. A lot of noise in the internet about crypto starting the up move and it's going to go up for, it's not going to go up forever yet. There's a good chance this is just a correction that will come back to the low before they go. They might eventually get back to the top, but not so fast. That doesn't mean you're not going to get upwards correction. And you can't take advantage of that. You can take advantage of that. But if you're an investor and you don't understand that this thing is not going to go up maybe in 4 years from now, I'm not saying 4 years, I'm saying maybe. It all depends on how long this thing will stay here. Well, you may say, well, hey, why are you scaring people about 4 years? Well, how about you go back and you look at this one? If you understand how long you can stay at the bottom here before they go back up, come and look at this. See when this one made that sharp move up and started to drop? Watch what happened at the low here. I can just show you very quick, so you wouldn't have to kill yourself. This was a low point here, and that started in September 18. And let's go to when it actually proves it's going up. That is this point, December 20. That's 2 years. It's going sideways here, literally before you can see that the impulse is starting. Well, let's go. You see that sharp move up there? Let's compare it to this sharp move up here. We haven't hit the lowest yet, so we need to break the low and then start counting. But if you start counting from the top of the sharp move, that is going to be May 18. Not September 18, but May 18. This one is when? The top of that is August 22. Well, give it 2 years. That's August 24. And then give it a couple months more. That's December 24. So maybe December 24 or 25th is when you actually start to get that move to the upside. Well, what causes this? This is what you call the accumulation phase. This is where those who would like to bring it to the top here would like to buy as much as possible at the bottom here. Now, that's not me and you. we're not trading, taking a trade and holding it for 2 years. Right? No retail trader does that. Retail traders don't want to hold a trade for more than a couple hours. They want their profit within a couple hours. This is investment trading. These are the people who know what they're doing with vast amount of money and the holding ability. So cash is not their problem. Their problem is how to turn that cash from here to here and take that profit off the table. So if you're holding some and you think you have a holding power, you're going to wait until it gets to the top. You're not going to wait. These little spikes are going to make you exit. Sell off, and more people are going to sell off, and then sell off, and then sell off, and then the sell off. As the sell-offs are coming, they will accumulate it. And then that move will start. That move will start when enough is in their pocket. You will say, well, how you know what is enough? Well, they know how much exists. You know how much exists. I know how much exists. They know how much they would like to hold in their pocket before the price goes up, because when the price moves up like this, they will be selling to you at the top here. You know, you will say, well, hey, who's going to buy at the top? There was the guy when Bitcoin was breaking this top. And I said, guys, be careful. You want to exit the trades now. You got to move your stops, or you got to look for exit because it's going to drop. He said, nope, don't listen to this fool. I sold my house to buy Bitcoin. Well, they're looking for fools like those. Because when it gets back to the top here, you will say, or you will believe, well, oh my God, this thing is going to 10,000 to 20,000 to 30,000. This is going to be the next Bitcoin. It's going to go to 80,000. Of course, the internet will be flooded with crypto millionaires, because all of that is hype. You will see a few people flouncing cars and fancy houses, and they're all over in Dubai relaxing, and they're all over the world enjoying life because they bought cryptos. So you will be tempted to buy. The majority of the fools will be tempted to buy it at the top there, because they would want the lifestyle those influencers are putting out. Those guys are influencers. I know, because I was offered money to do that. I was offered money to say, hey, tell people to buy this, or tell people to advertise this for us. I just don't take that money, right? Because when the cameras stop, all that you're seeing in the back there is not theirs, not the car, not the yacht, not the fancy house, not those girls standing next to them. They're not theirs. They're there for the show, and you believe in that, and you go buy crypto at the top, and now you're in trouble. So I think most of you think you're mature enough to understand that, but trust me, when it starts to go up and you get that feeling of you missed out, oh my God, I should have bought it. Oh my God, look how much I'm missing. Look at these guys enjoying. They bought it at this price. No, not very few are buying at the bottom here. That's what we keep showing them. We are showing you where to buy. We showed you this one. I showed you this one. Here's the question. How many of you bought in here? Ask yourself, did you actually took that trade? You're a trader. You saw that. That's a good opportunity. Let's say you bought here. Let's say you took $5,000 and you bought at this price. 39.06, right? That is 3,900. No, that's 0.339. So you bought 0.39, sorry. I thought I was looking at a big one. So you bought it at 0.4. Let's say 0.4 you bought. And you closed it even now. That is at 4.5, 4.57, 4.6. You made profit. You made very good profit on your investment in a very short time. In a very short time. So you invested $10,000, you got a few $1,000s in your pocket. But did you do it? That's the thing. You didn't. And the reason you didn't is because you didn't know that it's going to happen. You can't trust my analysis because you don't know me. You don't know the reason for my analysis. You don't know that it works 80-90% of the time. You also don't know what to do if you're tagged in that trade and it starts to pull back. So the only way you can know, the only way you can take advantage of these very nice moves that we keep seeing and they will continue to happen, is to join us in the live sessions. Because for every trade we put on in the live sessions, if you would see my chart, I don't have them here now. You normally see a lot of codes at the side here. Right? Those codes, those color codes. Those color codes that tell you what stage that trade is in and what we're doing with it. So with that, I will end. Send me a Skype message. You're going to have access to that. All the other pairs in here, if you want to see them, if you want to see the analysis of them, if you want to see the trade setups, if you want to see the trades we're taking, join us live. Like I said, it's going to cost you a coffee a day for 2 live sessions. You join us in New York, you join us, and you will also, if you can, join the live sessions immediately, or you can join the live session any one day. You have the recording of the entire thing. It's called a daily recording. We record it once a day and we send that to you very early in the morning. It's recorded in the Asian session and you get it to look at it. So if for whatever reason one day you can't join us, you can look at the recording and see what we're planning to do. But for more confidence, join the live session. We will hold your hands through these trades. You're going to have confidence in trading them. So make a choice. Or you can go to some guru out there, telling you that you don't need to learn anything, you don't need to understand, you don't need trade management. All you need to do is to learn this one strategy, mechanical rules, one strategy. You're going to trade for half an hour. Basically, I opened my YouTube and this guy, he is flouncing his fancy houses all over the place and telling people, well, you only need to trade in the London Open half an hour and you can make enough money. And I'm like, dude, really? Anybody who said that is not a trader. He's an influencer, but not a trader. Because you can't trade for half an hour a day and become rich. Tell that to Warren Buffett. All he needs to do is work half an hour a day in the London Open and he'll be super rich. And he's going to tell you where to go. Tell it to any of the rich people. And all they need to do is work half an hour a day and they'll tell you where to go. Because those people will tell you better work 24 hours in the day if you can. If you want to get rich. If you really want to do this good, you better put in the hard work. You better learn this stuff properly. It's not going to happen by you learning one strategy and trade half an hour in the London Open. I'm surprised that people even look at that thing and decide to click on the link. Look at that ad and click on the link. Anyone who click on that link, well, you're setting yourself up for failure because you will lose. You will give him whatever money he asks you for, and that's the end of it. Because he's not going to give you 5 live sessions a day or 2 live sessions a day. He's going to give you half an hour in the London Open, and you will lose your account really quick, very, very quick, because it's not going to happen. All right, so I'll leave you with that thought. All of you have a good weekend. Trade with care. And if you really want to learn to trade, everything you need to know about trading, including support and resistance, including fibs, including everything, do they actually work? No, they don't. But if you want to know about them and understand how they work and why they don't work, what is composition of it and why it doesn't work, join us. We do talk about all of that. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye.